All right, so just in case there is anybody following along with this who's also going to do something similar in their van or something somewhere, it's really important to understand that you've got to load these L's, otherwise they're pointless, and all the weight's going onto the filing cabinet, which transfers all the weight onto the bottom shelf, which it's just a big domino effect, and you're going to end up breaking the bottom shelf. So what we wanted to do was we wanted to get this to where it's got to be pulled down, and once it's pulled down, it gets flush with the filing cabinet. And the reason being is with the piece of wood that we use, or whatever we end up using, metal, wood, whatever, the piece that we use to conjoin these, to put these two tight together, the top shelf and the bottom shelf, that piece is going to alleviate some of the strain on the bottom shelf. It's actually going to put the top braces and the top shelf to work to actually hold the filing cabinet up, if that makes sense. So the way to accomplish that is, what I did was I hung the L straight down, like the one that you see here, and then what I did was I moved it out a little bit, like so, okay? And once I moved it out like that, I drilled the holes accordingly. And then I used the jigsaw to connect the two holes that I did with the drill. So realistically, this piece of metal right here that you're looking at, it wants to naturally be about right here. It's bowed back. By bowing that back, because this is the fulcrum point, it can't come back through this wall, it's tight against this wall. By tightening that back, it puts force on the outer part of this L. Okay, so it's putting the L to work. And so now we're about to do the same thing here with this next one. So just, observe where that knot is, observe the gap, observe, I'm going to end up, I'm probably going to put this one under even more strain than the other two. I actually wish I would have done the other two even more so. I could still fix it. I can add a spacer back here in the back behind this, and it increases the fulcrum. So what you do is you add a spacer on the back side of that hole, and you move this bar forward even further, where, the bar wants to go backwards, but it can't because you'll have the spacer there. But anyhow, you got to have enough wood too to be strong enough, because understand, the more I'm looking at this wood's going to try to break out. So it's going to be really important that we put a, a piece of wood back here to add force evenly across this piece here, or at least we need to add, I'm going to put a whole piece of wood back there, but it's very important that right here, at the back of these pieces, you have force this way to keep all this snug. Ideally, I should have done this with one big piece of wood. Obviously, this piece of wood wasn't wide enough to do it all with one piece of wood. I got to add the back beam. Ideally, if I had this to do over again, I would have bought an even wider piece of wood. But at the time, I didn't think I was going to need that wide of a piece of wood. And then, you just get to working and you're like, whatever, I'll just add the back piece back here later. But now that I'm looking at it and realizing what I'm doing and having these under tension, I'm just telling you guys, it'd be better if this board came all the way out. That way there's strength, because there's a lot of force on this wood right now. Like when you're pushing down on this, it wants to break that out the back of that wood. If I had to predict where something's going to break, it's going to be this wood right here. So I just wanted to point that out. And you can always go too far and then just add spacers here. And that's what I wish I would have done on these. I wish I would have gone a little further and then had to add the spacer. But anyway, it's not bad. It's, but the point is, by the time you put stuff up there and load it down, you've kind of defeated the purpose of, I wish I would have put more, even more angle on this, is what I'm saying, is really what it boils down to. So anyhow, and you know what, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna actually go ahead and back these off. Hang on a second here. Hang on. I'm gonna back those off ever so slightly, because I don't want there to be the tension trying to square it. I want it to be against there, but I don't want the bolt head trying to square it against the wall. I want it to be bowed out from the wall, like what you see there. That way it's so I'll probably get some like Loctite or something on there so that they don't move in the end. But that's just I don't know how to explain it. I didn't want it to be trying to break this wood any more than it already is. So with that said, let's see here. We got one more to go with these L's, and you'll see what I mean here in a second after I drill these holes. See ya.